Woo! Welcome to Breaking the Barrier. I'm at a Benz alongside my co-host, the one, the only. He's the Vice Mayor of Covington, David Crosier. How the hell are you today?
What's wrong with you?
Peppy.
Why?
Well, it's Wednesday and it's almost the weekend.
Oh my gosh. Good thing I got a hearing problem. That would have bursted an eardrum.
Not peppy today?
Oh, I'm always peppy.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Shut up.
We know that from like episode 6. It was the grumpy episode.
Now, make sure you tell folks, speaking of episode, this is episode
number 11.
Okay, just wanted to make sure you got it right this week, because what was it, 2 weeks ago?
Oh, yeah.
You had me all bumfuzzled. I thought it was 9. I thought it was 10. You said 9.
Yep.
And then you marketed it as 9.
Yeah, I marketed it at 9, and it was really our double-digit episode.
Yeah.
That's my bad.
I know. I just wanted to hear you say it.
It was my fault.
Wow.
It was my fault. I got my numbers wrong.
I didn't know Yankees ever took credit for anything.
I'm no math magician, so.
No, you're not.
Mathematician. I'd say that on purpose.
I know you do. Yeah, that's a thing.
Well, how the hell are you?
I am wonderful. I got up this morning. Pat Loving didn't see me naked down on the slab, so I guess, everything else takes care of itself.
Well, I hit the Kool-Aid, so I'm feeling a little good.
The Jim Jones Kool-Aid?
The Kool-Aid.
Oh, the Kool-Aid. You probably don't even know what I'm talking about, Jim Jones Kool-Aid.
No.
You don't know history, do you?
A little bit.
I used the Jim Jones reference a couple of weeks ago, and you gave me this kind of deer in the headlights look, and I was hoping you might Wikipedia this thing.
You did?
Oh.
It must have been a time I didn't listen.
Oh, probably.
What were we talking about?
I don't know. You're the host of this thing.
We're the co-hosts.
Oh, co-host.
Co-hosts. Well, in our main event, we already know, Crosier already knows what we're talking about in the main event. Today's episode is going to be about, in the main event, the elections coming up in November.
3 weeks from
3
yesterday.
weeks. Yep,
yeah.
3 weeks. And speaking of time frame, 2 weeks exactly from today is the launch of the new VirginiaReview.com website.
October 31st. And,
Halloween.
You'll be listening to this hopefully Thursday. It'll be
already out.
It'll be 31st that we're going to do this. We got the new website and
the app.
I'm geared up about that app.
You are geared up.
I'm going to be
about
notifying
the app.
Somebody, Zabrowski is going to teach me how to use that app, and I'm going to notify everybody of everything.
Oh man, you're going to notify them of.
When I sit down to eat at Taco Bell or the San Juan, I'm going to tweet and say, "Fire in the hole."
Oh man, no, you don't want to do that because then nobody's going to want to get the alerts.
Oh yeah.
You want people to actually want the alerts for when big things not happening, not when you're firing it in the hole of the toilet.
I don't know. If you're the wife, that's a big deal when I go.
She might need the alert.
She might need the notification that it's taco night. But,
man.
Poor thing.
Oh, man. And Zabrowski told me about you guys had a conference call today with getting the website, the new website.
I thought Zabrowski was going to shed a tear, man. He was just all... He was all verklempt and, all just teary-eyed looking at his baby come to fruition.
He showed me what the... I guess it would be the diaphragm of actually what it looks like.
The diaphragm?
Well, not the diaphragm.
That's the thing that either helps you breathe or keeps you from having kids. You mean diagram.
That's it, the diagram.
The diaphragm.
He was showing me the diagram of it and, what the viewers are going to see, then the subscribers are going to see, not just the drawn-out portion he's shown me before, but the actual online
I don't know about you, but he was about to cry.
It looks great. It looks phenomenal. It looks exactly like what he drew out.
I know, and I was surprised because his drawing sucks.
He's going to listen to this.
I doubt it.
You doubt it?
Yeah.
He tells me he listens to it.
Does he really?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to put some more knocks in against him, then I didn't think he bothered to listen.
Yeah, he uses his work time to listen to it.
No doubt. As long as he's getting something else done while he's listening, then good for him.
But it is definitely user-friendly. Based on what he's shown me, it is very user-friendly. And it's got multiple subsections to it. And what a subsection is... All right, if you're a subscriber to thevirginiareview.com, www.thevirginiareview.com, the current website, you would know that you have the full editions, it shows, which is going to go over to the new one. I'm trying to remember everything that he told me. It's going to go over to the new website. But it's going to be in a subsection along with sports, obituaries, and news releases as well. You're going to have 4 different subsections for this new website along with individual stories on the website.
And there is stuff already that is uploaded. Stories are hitting, obituaries are hitting every day of the week, 7 days a week. There's always something going on. And one of the big things that I want to point out, and I checked on this with Eric this morning, our techno geek with our software host, that all the subscriptions that we already have now, you will automatically have a subscription. If you already have one, you'll automatically have it with the new site. And if you already have a subscription to the online newspaper, you will be able to have all access to the app.
Correct. Yeah. Correct. That's
now,
right.
You can still download the app even if you're not a subscriber. You'll get just the basic alerts, and it'll direct you where to go from there to get more information. But if you're already a subscriber, and you can subscribe after the app comes out, after you see how cool it is, and you want to be a part of it, you can still subscribe then. But people who already have a subscription, this is the big
They're going to
deal.
be grandfathered in.
They're going to be grandfathered in. So they're going to automatically get a brand new website, and they're going to get access to the app.
Correct. And there's also going to be new features to the website that the print does not have. You're going to have access to...
cell phone pictures of me that I take on people's cell
phones?
phones?
Yeah, nobody wants that. But I do notice that on your Facebook that you like to post a lot of photos.
Well, what I do is, my philosophy is, if anybody leaves a cell phone unattended in my presence, they get selfies.
No doubt.
Multiple selfies, sometimes 10, 15 selfies at a time. And for their future use, for the garden or, whatever need strikes them. But people still leave their phone around me, and they get selfies. So,
no doubt.
Yeah.
I don't doubt it, because I see it a lot.
Can I borrow your phone?
No.
Oh.
No. It's not unintended right now.
I don't see
it.
it.
And don't go in my pocket either.
Oh, my God. They got laws against that.
Yeah, so don't try it.
Gross.
I was reading the Virginia Review the other day. Well, actually, before we get to that, we're talking about the website right now. The new folks, the current subscribers will be grandfathered in, and there's going to be all these new features that the print does not have. Special features that we'll talk more as time gets closer to the launch date, and maybe what we'll do is next week, for next week's part of next week's show, we'll go with a whole rundown of what to expect in the new website. How would you like to do that?
Sounds good to me.
I can get more information from Zabrowski, and we
he
can.
Don't know nothing.
Isn't he the one that's making the website for you?
Oh yeah.
Because apparently you don't, from what he's told me.
I'm a dinosaur, according to him. You can't hack a piece of paper.
Well, anyways, I was talking about how I read the paper the other day.
I'm so proud.
Thank you.
And we had a lot of pictures that day, I'm sure.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of pictures.
That's how you were able to read it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I do better with pictures.
Yeah, you are a Yankee.
Here we go again.
Here we go with the Yankee.
I did read in Tuesday's paper. If you have not picked up a copy yet, you could either pick up a copy at the Virginia Review, or you can go online and subscribe to www.thevirginiareview.com. In Tuesday's paper, I saw that there was a big article on the front page about a school merger.
Oh, yes, my boy Jacob.
Here we come again.
Jacob is at it again, and I fully support him. He's got the right idea that we need to look past who's going to be in charge. There's two big issues, programs and leveling teacher salaries between the city teachers and the county. Once you get past that, this issue with buildings and who's going to be in charge of what, once you get the important stuff out of the way, which those are the two big important things, everything else works itself out. But yeah, Jacob is really, really pushing it again, and I'm glad he is.
We had Jacob Wright on here probably about, 3-4 shows
Something
ago?
like that, yeah.
Around that time. And he's very big on the school merger. He is on the Alleghany School Board, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And folks, if you have not picked up a copy of the Virginia Review, again, subscribe online to www.thevirginiareview.com or just pick up a copy of Tuesday's edition and read this article. It's bound to happen eventually.
It's going to have to. I mean, they were talking in that meeting about the decrease in the number of students in the county system, projected decrease over, I think it was a 5-year period.
You said a decrease or increase?
Decrease.
In the county?
In the county. And it's a sign of the times, man. People leave, parents leave because of jobs or what have you, but there is a decrease in students in the county. And
now we're talking about Alleghany County. We're not talking about the city.
No, this is just Alleghany County schools. So there's a decrease currently over a 5-year period. There's a bigger decrease projected, and what that equals is a less in-state funds. Localities, Covington, Alleghany County, Bath County, whatever. Localities in Virginia get roughly $6,000, give or take a little bit, per student from the state. So it adds up. So if they've got, I can't remember off the top of my head what the numbers were, but you're looking over a 5-year period, a loss of $1 million. So
wow. And
I hate that for the county because those folks, those teachers, work very, very hard. But it is what it is. And at some point, it's going to get to the point, and I hope it gets to the point before one or the other side, and I hate to say sides, but one or the other systems gets to the point where they just can't afford to do it anymore. Where right now we can talk about it, everything's on a level playing field, and unfortunately, the Board of Supervisors and the City Council get the blame for why the schools haven't merged. Folks, I'm here to tell you, the last 2 times that the schools have met to discuss merger, the discussions were initiated by the local governing bodies. We are for it. Since I've been on council, we sent our school board, and the county board of supervisors did the same thing to the county school board, sent a letter in December, I think it was 2012, something like that, requesting that they go back to the table. The time before that, it was initiated by the governing bodies. We are not against this, but it has to come from the school boards. The school boards have to be the one to sit down and work together. I wish people, especially these fools that get on Facebook and start commenting about stuff they have no clue about, wish they'd get their facts straight. We in elected official positions do enough to get in trouble on our own. We do enough to get criticism. We don't need help by ignorance. I just want to get that out there. That's like a burp. I feel
get it out there. That's why it's called breaking the barrier.
I was going to comment on some of those silliness, but I decided no, that I would say it right here. But it's like a burp. You just got to get it out sometimes. But yeah, there's so much ignorance.
yeah, and I bet you do all the time.
Oh yeah, buddy. Especially when I drink this Coke.
Well, this is going to lead into our mail time edition for this week.
Oh no.
Yes, that's why I brought this up right away.
Mail time. That always scares me.
And in mail time this week, this is from Stephanie. And of course, this is going back to the school merger.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a reason where a merger is beneficial for all parties.
Beneficial for all parties. One scenario, you say? Or one reason?
A reason.
The biggest party I'm worried about here is the kids. And I know that's where Jacob's coming from.
No, a reason where it's a beneficial.
I'm getting there.
Oh, okay.
If you'd stop interrupting me, I'm getting there.
Well, at least talk in the microphone.
I'm talking in the microphone.
Well, last week you didn't. I could barely hear you at the beginning.
Oh, my gosh. Well, shut up then so I can talk. No, you talk about all parties involved. And you got a lot of parties involved in this thing. You've got both governing bodies. You've got 2 school boards. You've got teachers in both systems. The biggest reason to do this is to create better opportunities educationally for the kids. If you do that, then it's beneficial for everybody. It's beneficial for the taxpayers. It's beneficial for parents. It's beneficial for everybody. Now, say we were to vote today that on January the 1st we would have a merged school system. It doesn't mean that we're going to save $10 million right out of the chute. You're not going to see a significant financial savings for a while. Probably it could be 8 or 10 years before you actually start seeing a financial savings. If you did it right, if it was done correctly, what you would do is start by merging and having one central office. You'd have all the schools under one system. You could keep all the schools open for now, centralize everything in one office, and then you go from there. You start seeing what buildings are needed, what buildings are not needed, what buildings maybe ones that we close like Falling Springs Elementary. Maybe it would serve better to open it back up. All these decisions don't have to be made immediately. These are decisions that can be made over time. And like I say, it's not going to be a huge savings right out of the chute. As you get people retiring, as positions start to go away because of attrition and that type of thing, then you'll see the savings. But the biggest reason and the biggest party that this, to use her terminology, the biggest party to be affected by this will be the students. And I don't know anybody out there that would agree anymore that that is the biggest reason that you do this. But unfortunately, that's been the one reason that's been left by the wayside in the last couple, because the school boards got together and they couldn't decide who's going to be in charge and how many votes this side got and how many votes this side got. It was stupid. They never talked about what kind of programs can we achieve by having these merged. You know, this one big system. What can we do pooling our resources? They couldn't get past, what schools to close. And you've got people that are so hung up on Covington High School. Yeah, it's a nice building, but it may not be able to be a high school in a combined system. We don't know. But we never get to those parts because it usually breaks down over the fact of how many votes the county will get on a school board as opposed to how many votes the city would get. And it got so ignorant the last time they were talking about super majorities and just sounded like crap you'd hear about in Congress. And that's why it was about as successful as Congress is right now.
And I think you already hit the head on this one, this next question.
Hit the nail on the head, you mean?
Sure.
You said hit the head. I didn't go to the bathroom.
It's another saying.
Uh-huh.
No?
In the Navy, hit the head means you went to the bathroom.
Oh, okay. Well,
anywho.
You hit the nail on the head with this one.
Okay.
You're happy?
Yeah, I'm very happy.
Okay. This from Dan. What is the need? And I'm pretty sure you've already given your take on what the need is.
The need to merge?
Yes.
It's the kids, and I know from the standpoint of a parent. Not only, luckily, one of my children are already graduated. She graduated last year from Covington. She was special needs. I saw firsthand, the wife and I did, about the struggles in the special ed department. A lot of times, special ed kids are treated like redheaded stepchildren, because, and this is my feeling and the feeling that the wife got when we would deal with some of these people in either system, because Tori for a while was in the county system and then she was in the city. We were trying to find her the best. A lot of times it seems that special ed kids are considered the redheaded stepchildren, and they're there to earn $6,000 a year for the school system because they have to do it by law. So you take that, and I know with my other daughter who's in high school now, there's a lot of opportunities that kids in Covington just don't get. Great teachers. Teachers try, and they work very, very hard at what they do. I tell people all the time that if I was a teacher these days, I wouldn't need a raise. I'd need bail money. But, you're limited by what funds you can do. And as far as the city of Covington goes, there's a lot of hands out at budget time trying to get money for various projects, And education, right now, we spend $1.7 million more a year than the state says. But at some point, we're not going to be able to keep funding the school system at that level. There's a lot of infrastructure needs in the city that we're going to have to address at some point. So I say all that to say this. The biggest reason would be to take the money that we are able to put together, and you create programs, more programs in the county and the city together separately can achieve. You put them together and they can achieve a whole lot more together, programming wise, for the kids, opportunities for the kids, than they're able to get now.
Dan and Stephanie, we thank you for your comments and your emails, rather, for this week in our edition of Mail Time. Folks, if you have any emails, comments, questions, or concerns, send us to our email address at website@thevirginiareview.com. You can also send us a message through Messenger on Facebook as well.
Now, what Facebook page is that? You might want to put a plug in.
Yes, the Virginia Review
I think Zabrowski said something to me. I don't know if he did to you before we went on, to make sure we stressed.
Yes,
that it's a whole new Facebook page.
Correct. The brand new Facebook page, Virginia Review Alleghany Highlands.
Because we are your number one news source.
That's
in the Alleghany
right.
Highlands.
The number one news source in the Alleghany Highlands. But because we're stressing on it is because we have folks that still message the actual Facebook friends page. Not message, but comment. They still comment to that Facebook page. So the place to send us a message or comment is on the Facebook page, Virginia Review Alleghany Highlands. So hopefully Zabrowski's happy with that little plug right there.
He's never happy. He's the grouchiest kid I've ever seen.
Ooh. Oh, he's nice to me.
Well, both of y'all are in that same age bracket mental mentality there, you know.
Yeah, I was a little leery of meeting him at first.
He is a weirdo.
Oh, I didn't think he was.
But he has a lovely mother. I met Mama Zabrowski the other day, and she is just a lovely, lovely woman. And I know she listens to this show, and, you know, hi, Mama Zabrowski. She is very lovely, and I asked her, I said, how in the world did you come up with that? And she just shrugged her shoulders. She didn't even know.
I'm sure she was just doing that just to
placate me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it worked because I found it quite humorous.
I'm sure you did.
She's quite a lovely lady.
I'm sure you did because you like to rib on Zabrowski all the time.
Yes, I do, because he just walks into it. He makes it so easy for me.
I can see that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
He's a nice guy, though.
He is.
He is.
I know he doesn't listen, so he ain't going to hear that and get the big head. He's already got a big enough head.
Well, I mean, look at him. He's in charge of all social media, and that's been booming since he took over.
I hate to admit it. I'd much rather swallow a box of nails than say it. But, yeah, he's done a great job with it.
I'm going to make sure he hears that. What did you say?
No, I said it once. That's about it. Said it once.
I think it's now time for the main event of the show. We're going to move along and get right down to the nitty-gritty.
Oh, by the way, before we get to the main event,
all right,
talking about the new website.
Yes.
You will be able to go to the website and watch the latest episode
of Breaking the Barrier. That's correct.
And that is so cool. I saw that today, and I thought that is so awesome.
Yep.
You and Zabrowski are still working together trying to get that whole iTunes thing.
Correct. Yeah, it's a work in progress.
And it's an act of Congress. Eric from our software host talked about that today, how it was an act of Congress to get something through with Apple.
iTunes, yeah.
Yeah,
well, not so much Android.
No, not so much Android. Apparently Android is easy to work with. And, of course, my stupid self has an iPhone. So, not that I really know what to do with it.
Well, I think it's just that it's a matter of Apple making sure all the content and everything is suitable.
Mm-hmm. Everything we do here is suitable.
Well, nothing you do is suitable.
Oh, well, yeah. My mom says that. But no, you'll be able, once we start, I guess for the November 1st edition of Breaking the Barrier, you will be able to see that through the new website.
Yes.
And you'll be able to see it because there's a mobile version of the website that you'll be able to look at through your phone, and you'll be able to watch it there too. So
yeah, he actually showed me the mobile version. That's pretty cool.
Well, he hadn't even shown me that.
Well, I'm obviously cooler than you.
Well, probably.
And I'm not even his boss.
Yeah. I get no respect.
You get none from me.
Oh. When did I talk to your mother?
Oh, there we go. Moving along to the main event, and Crosier already knows what the main event is. We're talking about elections. They are coming up on November 6th. Yep, November 6th. That's just, what, a couple weeks away.
3 weeks from yesterday.
And elections with local government concerning Covington, Clifton Forge, and Iron Gate. Again, the elections will be held on November 6th, and council elections will be held in Covington, Clifton Forge, Iron Gate, again on November 6th.
But none for Alleghany County. There's no local positions on the Board of Supervisors.
Well, it's good to clarify that.
Yeah, there's no local seats. If you're a county voter living in Alleghany County, not in Iron Gate or Clifton Forge, none of the seats are up for grabs this year.
In Covington, 3 candidates will compete for District 1 seat. Those candidates
You make it sound like there's going to be a cage fight or something. Competing?
We want to make the folks get interested in it.
Imagine a cage fight.
Yeah.
Okay, that'll work. UFC.
Your boss, Marianne Byrne, she will be up for, it will be one of the candidates, along with, and you're going to have to forgive me, and you're going to have to help me with these names.
Okay.
CJ Etzminger?
Ensminger.
Ensminger. CJ Etzminger.
Now, CJ, I apologize. He's a Yankee. I can't teach him nothing.
And Robert Short Sr. Those are your
Who's
3
that?
candidates. Robert Short was actually my former broadcast partner for the Alleghany Mountaineers.
Well, that's the most I've ever heard of him. He's never been to a meeting. The only thing I've ever heard about him is the day he posted on his Facebook page that the city manager in Covington makes $292,000 a year.
Really?
Yeah, which I text...
6 figures.
Well, that's what he had said. And I text Richard Douglas and said, "You're fired, I'm taking over." No, he makes like 90. But because this short guy, whoever he is uneducated as far as what goes on, he looked at the budget, which he was given by City Hall, and saw that the city manager's department, because there's a city manager department with a staff and copies and mailing appropriations and all this stuff, health insurances and taxes and all that kind of silliness, was around 289, 290, something like that. And so this guy saw that bottom line number, and without even asking, just put it on Facebook. So I texted Richard and I said, "You're fired." I said, "You got a raise apparently." I said, "And I'm going to take over." I said, "I could do your job for that." I could do a lot of stuff for $292,000 a year, man.
Yeah, that gives Zabrowski a raise.
No, I ain't paying him out of my pocket. But no, CJ has been, now Marianne was, to give you a little history, Marianne was appointed almost a year ago.
In November.
Yeah, to fill the seat left vacant when Bill Zimmerman passed away last November 6th. And the election was already in 2018 anyway. CJ comes to the meetings all the time. I love CJ to death. He and I served together in the Covington Fire Department. He's a good guy. Marianne has done a great job on City Council. Whoever of those two get elected, the city is going to benefit from either one. There's no doubt in my mind. This other guy, Short, like I say, I wouldn't know him if he walked in. He hasn't bothered to ask any questions of anybody. He hasn't bothered to come to a city council meeting to at least get semi-educated, and there's a whole lot more to doing this than just talking to people at Walmart or Hardee's and getting their opinion on what it is. There's a whole lot more goes on.
In District 2, you have Alan Tucker. He'll be running unopposed.
Rumor and innuendo was, I guess it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, that somebody in that district was going to wage a write-in campaign. I heard a name. I haven't heard anything else, so I don't know if that's true or what. But right now on the ballot is only Alan.
5 candidates have qualified for the ballot in Clifton Forge Town Council elections.
And I want to say, getting multiple people out for an election for a district or a seat, like Covington runs by district.
Okay.
We have districts 1 through 5. I happen to be number 5th district. Clifton Forge is a little bit different. It's at large. You get, X number of people going. In this case, it's 5 people going for 2 seats. They don't do it by districts. Up until the late 80s, Covington did by
I thought it was large. 3 seats.
Was it 3? Okay.
3 seats, yeah.
Okay, I got confused about that.
That's the Clifton Forge Town Council.
That's the Clifton Forge. In Covington, you have a district election. This year, it is for districts 1 and 2. In 2020, it'll be for 3, 4, and 5. But in Clifton Forge, you get however many people come out, and they're running for X number of seats. So it's a little bit different. The only people that can vote for me, for example, in a district election are the people in my district. In Clifton Forge, as long as you're a resident of the town, you can vote for anybody on the ballot. Whoever the 3 that you pick. Or the one you pick, and then whoever is the top 3 vote getters. You can vote for whoever you want to, if that clears it up a little bit.
No, that's good for clarification.
Yeah, and Iron Gate's the same way. Iron Gate is by at large. Iron Gate is not by districts like Covington is. Alleghany County has districts.
Correct, because go ahead.
Yeah, Alleghany County has districts. Covington has districts. Iron Gate, Clifton Forge do not. They're at large.
Yes, Iron Gate, the mayor, Chuck Unruh?
Unruh, yes.
Unruh. Chuck Unruh will be running unopposed.
You better watch it. Better get his name right. He'll embalm you.
That's why I have to follow up with you with the names.
I tell you what, I love Chuck. Chuck's a great guy. Works hard. He works for Nicely's funeral home down in Clifton. While doing mayoral duties. Great guy. But yeah, you better watch it. I'm gonna have him embalm you.
Why do you hate me so much?
I don't hate you. I just like to pick on you because you're a Yankee, and your Yankees got knocked out of the playoffs.
Not again. We're not talking about this.
Oh, okay.
We're on important matters. The main event.
That was an important matter.
I'm sure it was for every 31 other baseball teams.
Oh yeah,
fans.
Long as the evil empire got kicked out.
Back to the Clifton Forge Town Council elections. The 5 candidates: Mayor Carl Brinkley.
Love Carl.
And Councilman Bob Umstead, I was
right. You
right.
had it right the first time.
Bob Umstead will be listed on the ballot along with Jason Cordova, Ronald Goings, and Pam Marshall.
Pam Marshall, love Pam. She right now she writes for us here to Virginia. And she covers Clifton Forge. She's Clifton Forge native. Went away to seek her livelihood, then came back when she retired. Dr. Goings. Had long-time physician in Clifton Forge. I don't know him that well. The Cordova guy, what his name is, Cordova?
Jason Cordova.
I don't know him. But now, I love Carl to death. Carl is what Carl is. Carl is kind of like Covington's version of me. It just, in the mind, out the mouth, trying to do our best, and, if you tick somebody off, then, sorry.
I bet he's a nicer guy because it can't get much worse than you.
I don't know. We're about the same. Yeah. I've mellowed out, thank you, you butthole. I've mellowed out in my old age.
Vice Mayor Gail Hillert is not seeking re-election.
No, and Gail's done a heck of a job. Carl and Gail both have taken a lot of heat over the past several years about things that town council has done. I'm just an outsider looking in. When you get elected to a position, you got to look at the big picture. And they get a lot of heat from people who just do not look at the big picture. Whether or not their decisions are right or wrong, not for me to decide. Like I say, I can only worry about the decisions we make. But on a personal level, I love Gail. I love Carl. They're great people. And I hate to see Gail not running again. But after a while, you can be in the game too long. Sometimes it's time, if you start feeling burned out, it's sometimes time to, walk away and serve behind the scenes.
Again, in Iron Gate, Mayor Chuck Unruh will be running unopposed. And Iron Gate elects the mayor separate from council members, which you talked about.
That is different. It's called a council. It's called a mayoral form of government, where the mayor is a separate entity, and then you elect council. Covington had a little bit of history. Covington and Clifton Forge both had those form of governments. Covington went to its current form in 1927, 28. Clifton Forge followed in the 40s, I believe it was. But in that situation, the mayoral election is something completely separate. In our form of government in Clifton Forge, Alleghany County, and Covington, you get elected to the board, and then the board decides who the top person is. Like in our case, council appointed and elected Tom Seibold to be mayor. Same way with Carl and Steve Bennett in Alleghany County.
And the candidates listed on the ballot for town council now: Richard Erskine, Don Hall, and Kawana Persinger.
What was that name?
Kawana?
Kanawha.
Kanawa Persinger.
You are
those are the ones listed on there.
And they call me a redneck. Look at you. At least I know how to pronounce her name. Poor thing. I'm sorry, Kanawha. You just don't even have anything to say about that, do you?
I'm trying to get my names right. That's why you're here to help me.
Oh, okay. So that's my function today.
Yes, I couldn't get a hold of you ahead of time to get the names.
I've been very busy today.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, I've been very busy.
You haven't returned any of my texts.
Oh, you're on the list.
Yeah.
You're into that.
If you don't message us back in 0.2 seconds, it won't be until 7 business days later.
Pretty much. You've got 7 business days after that. And if I don't text you in that 0.2 seconds, you'll get one in about 7 days.
Again, folks, I apologize if I got your name wrong. I'm trying to get Crosier to back me up.
You're such a Yankee.
Unbelievable.
And they lost, by the way.
I wish I had something to say, but I don't.
Well, I can say that because my boys got knocked out.
Yeah, your Braves got knocked out too, and then you became a favorite of the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Did they win last night?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was busy then, too. I ain't got time for all that.
So those are the candidates for town council in Iron Gate.
Yes.
And, again, those have been our list.
What you talked about earlier was schools. Everything that we've talked about in these main events through 10 episodes, a lot of that stuff, economic development, schools, infrastructure, all that stuff are things that those people who win those seats are going to have to deal with, because Iron Gate may be small, but they're in the same ballpark as the rest of us are. And I have to say that over the past 6.5 years, we've got the best relationship that we've ever had between the four. There's about 41 different things that the county / Clifton Forge, Iron Gate do jointly with the city. Everybody talks about we can't get along and all that, but there's already 41 things that we're up to now. And a lot of those came in the last 6 years that we share costs on, that we do jointly. And so, but a lot of those things that we've talked about over 10 episodes are things that, newcomers coming to the boards are going to have to deal with. And it's not fun.
And those that don't have subscriptions to the paper, they get their news source from here.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as we can still provide news sources to both those that subscribe to the paper, those that get it from here, and those that just enjoy listening to us.
Yeah.
Because there are many that enjoy listening to our podcast.
Yeah. I got to give a shout out to my girl Nellie Bell. She'll know exactly who I'm talking to. That's her nickname. Listens to every show we've done. And I know she'll listen to this. Want to give her a shout out. And my favorite people today, on Wednesday, is their anniversary, and want to wish y'all a very happy anniversary. And Jennifer has a birthday today too. One half of that dynamic duo. Jennifer, I love you, but you'll always be older than me. So happy birthday, happy anniversary to you two, and I love you much.
Apparently, I'm older than you.
I'm only 25.
Yeah, born in 1993.
Yeah, do the math.
Yeah. Again, I'm not no mathematician.
You're no mathematician, but you can count to 25.
I said mathematician, not magician.
I know, I like that.
Gotcha.
I like that mathematician.
I tricked you with
I
that
like that
one.
mathematician.
Right. I like
That's
it.
some good stuff.
I was send a shout out too to Zabrowski's mother. She always listens to our podcast.
She is such a lovely lady.
And to Zabrowski's future mother-in-law. She also listens to the podcast as well. He's a nice guy.
Yeah, okay. Which of the two of you, and I can't remember, went to the wrestling over the weekend?
That would be me. I was going to get to that.
Oh, man, you got to hold the 10 pounds of gold.
I did get to hold the 10 pounds of gold, the NWA World title.
Yep. Did you have a good time?
Oh, it was great. I went to a Ring of Honor show. And Ring of Honor is, of course, the best independent wrestling there is currently out there. It's better entertainment than WWE puts on.
That ain't saying much anymore.
I mean, if I had to put them in rankings, and I'm a big wrestling buff, as you know.
You're a mark.
I am a mark for wrestling. I would put Ring of Honor first, New Japan Pro Wrestling, then WWE.
Because Cody Rhodes is much better than Roman Reigns.
Oh.
Much better wrestler, much more entertaining.
Better pure wrestler because,
I
mean, look where he came from.
He's a worker.
His dad was one of the most charismatic wrestlers of all time.
Yep.
Even when he got put in yellow polka dots, he was still the man.
Yep.
But, yeah, I got to hold the 10 pounds of gold and the New Japan Pro Wrestling United States title.
Did you try to run off with them?
No. Cody actually took them from me as soon as I could.
Oh, okay.
He's like, I got to take these back now. I'm like, a couple more seconds, sir.
Probably figured you'd run. He can see a kleptomaniac when he sees one.
His wife, Brandy, is a looker.
Yeah, not as good looking
She's a
as my
smoke
wife,
show.
But she's alright. My wife's prettier, though.
I also got to meet, the Bullet Club, which Cody Rhodes is in the Bullet Club.
Mm-hmm.
The Young Bucks, that was my mark out moment, more than the 10 pounds of gold.
See, I would have marked out with that 10 pounds of gold.
Yeah, I mean, you're an NWA guy from back in the day.
Once again, according to you, I'm a dinosaur.
Yes. But, I mean, Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, NWA.
Woo!
But no, meeting the Bullet Club, I mean, that's my time. I mean, with Marty Scurll, the villain, Adam Hangman Page, the Young Bucks. Again, I marked out when I met the Young Bucks.
I saw that.
And
Good
Cody Rhodes,
God.
Cody
You're
and
like
Brandy Rhodes.
You're like a fat kid at the Chuck E. Cheese, man.
And actually, you can't say Rhodes with Cody because WWE owns Rhodes.
I can say Rhodes all I want.
Yeah, we can, but we say Cody can't say his last name Rhodes.
Me?
He could cease and desist you.
He wouldn't be the first person. He wouldn't be the first person to try to censure me. So what the heck, right?
You know that happened last year.
What's that? I got censured?
No. The Bullet Club. They went to Raw. They did a Raw invasion, like DX did with Nitro. And the Bullet Club did their own little thing. They got a cease and desist letter the next day.
Oh my gosh!
They weren't doing anything. They actually didn't go into the building like WWE did.
Yeah.
The DX did. But they were at the same arena. They were across the street, actually.
Good Lord.
Oh, yeah. It was, they talked about that. They had a great time filming it.
Well, when you get somebody's attention like that you're on the right track.
Yeah, you might get somebody's attention now, and you might get a cease and desist letter.
It wouldn't be the first time. Honestly, it wouldn't be the first time. It's like somebody said they're going to call the FBI on me. They're well aware of it. They are well aware of me already. So, yeah.
And speaking of Ric Flair, how's those socks? I heard you finally wore them.
We went out of town. The wife and I went out of town this weekend, and I wore them, and I was styling and profiling.
Woo!
And I showed the wife, and she just shook her head.
She knew who they were, though, right?
She knew exactly who they
Oh, okay,
were.
good.
Yeah, she knows my penchant for wrestling.
Good. Well, folks, this is the time of the day where I think it's time to wrap up our show. We've had a good time this episode 11. We hope you've been entertained throughout.
You sure it's 11?
It is 11.
Okay, somebody will notify me if we get it wrong.
Well, they can notify us on all of our social media. They can notify us on Twitter. You can follow us at Review Virginian. You can find us on Facebook on our new page, not the old one, the new page, Virginia Review-Alleghany Highlands, and on Instagram Virginia Review, as well as YouTube Virginia Review. Find us and message us on all 4 locations and let me know if I'm wrong about this episode or something.
Oh, they'll tell us if we're wrong.
Well, they'll tell you if you're wrong.
Oh, they'll tell me.
And then you'll tell me that I was wrong.
Oh, I take great pride in that.
I know you do.
I take great pleasure in telling you you're wrong.
All right, let's wrap it up. Folks, we hope you've been entertained throughout, and we will talk to you all next week with another new main event for you all. Thanks for listening, and we hope you have a great rest of your week. Talk to you all next week.
Roll Tide.